allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Born and unborn.
Okay. Do we have any minutes and reports received and filed?
Yes, we do. We have the collector's July 2022 fees and the sheriff's July 2022 fees.
Good. Commissioner Committee liaison reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Campbell Board of Directors meeting Wednesday. The JCREP Board and Investor meeting Thursday. Chamber Connections Thursday afternoon. And Lincoln's students are moving into the residence halls this weekend, and if you want to go over there and help them or say hi and welcome them, it's Friday.
Yeah.
I won't be around to join in, but go enjoy that. And then St. Thomas Parish Picnic Sunday. So I think that's it.
A meeting later this morning, or going to attend an event at the National Biodiesel. Wednesday, a Corps of Engineers barge tour from Boonville to Huntsdale, I believe. Thursday, Road and Bridge Advisory Committee meeting and Heartland Port Authority meeting, currently scheduled, may be postponed.
Okay, yeah, I've got the barge cruise, and then Thursday, hopefully I get my cast off evening. I got Sons of American Revolution. I have the Lincoln students moving in Friday, and Saturday, Sons of Union Veterans, and St. Thomas Picnic. I will be there.
So do we need to bring a saw Thursday?
You know, we need to do something. I'm getting awfully tired of this. So
Can be
we-
arranged.
Maybe I'll see if Carrie will come take selfies. Okay, we're gonna keep moving ahead here because Mr. Commissioner Otto needs
Oh,
to
shoot,
be
I forgot
somewhere. Yeah. Presentation, oh, we don't have Luke here yet. Okay, I wonder if he
I don't
knew.
think he's gonna be here today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay,
I think they're gonna postpone that for a week.
I saw that, okay. Commission comments, bids and contracts, signing of Cole County EMS Medical First Responders MOU.
Morning, this is the annual MOU with the Cole County Medical First Responders. They respond to medical emergencies in the county as our first responders because the county fire departments do not fulfill that obligation for us. Annually, we allocate $25,000 to them, which is generally 99.9% of their operating budget. So this agreement just basically outlines that and some other really basic stuff of our operations. So it's an annual agreement. This will be for the remainder of calendar year 22, and then we'll present to you another one in January of 23, so we get back on the yearly cycle. So just asking that approve this today.
Okay. We weren't on a yearly cycle before?
We were, with the transition, it just got off.
Oh,
It just got off cycle.
And we were using a contract that went back, God. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, so this is kind of,
okay, good. Make a motion to sign the Cole County EMS Medical First Responders MOU.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Approval and signing of amendment to generator maintenance contract. And
If you guys remember a few weeks back that you guys signed an amendment to the generator maintenance contract which included 3 generators. It really was only supposed to be 2 generators. So this is just an amendment to change that maintenance to 2.
4 to
Additional
3.
2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm sorry this has been so, the waters have been muddied so much by this, but I noticed that there was one of our generators that was not on contract, and because it receives regular maintenance and through the RSOC grant process. But because it's in our possession, we should put it on contract so that if we ever need to do any other maintenance to it, it's already bid and all the process should be done other than just calling Cummins.
I guess you confused me. How many did we add? Because there's 8 of them on this list.
Well, through EMA, there's only 3 generators that we have that are the tow behind generators, and then we
Okay,
have
so the
one
ones that you
building
actually had.
generator.
Okay.
And the building generator, or I'm sorry, the tow behind, one of the tow behinds is what we added.
Okay. So it was $900 for adding those 2. Okay. Yep. Good. All right. Make a motion to sign the amendment to the generator maintenance contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You don't look very tan for just coming back from the sunny.
The kids would rather hang out at the pool than the beach, and I don't know why.
Well, welcome back. We missed you. Thank you,
They do
sir.
like the noise of the ocean.
Okay. Do we have any unfinished business? New business, accounts payable review.
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable. I think we have some unfair.
Motion to approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion of tax levy for 2022.
Okay. I sent you guys that email. Today is just the discussion. It's been put in the paper for the public hearing next Tuesday and then the final approval next Tuesday. You guys set the levies for general fund and for public works. We kind of explained the difference between, we had to wait till Board of E was over so we can have totals, and then we have to put them through the state auditors pro forma, I don't know, like calculations to figure out where our ceiling is. So I am suggesting we keep both of them at the ceiling, except for the rollback that has to happen on general fund levy. And that rollback is because of the EMS 60% promise that was made on the ballot. So I would like you to set the ceiling for general revenue, or for the general fund tax at .665, and then road and bridge at 2,779. So really today is just if you have any questions, if you want any more information, kind of gave you a history of where the tax levy has been for umpteen years and what percentage it has gone up.
Up or down?
Well, this year, the levy itself, I'm taking general fund because of the rollback, because we had more sales tax than anticipated. So made it, go back a little bit, so it was at .0619, and I'm asking you to take it to .0665. Some of we had some increase in the assessed valuation, but most of it was due to personal property. It was 1.5% or 1.7% because of real estate. That would probably be due to mostly just new construction.
Right.
But there was an increase, though it was like a 17% increase on personal property. It's such a small amount of the total that really didn't increase the property tax that much, so.
And that was due to the assessor using the new state tax commission values for vehicles.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the way I understand. The NA, whatever book that is. Yeah.
NADA, okay. National Auto Dealers Association, okay. So next week, we're going to be looking to potentially take a rate down from .0665 to .0619.
The other way around. It's actually going up because
Oh,
the sales tax went up.
It's going up?
Because when the sales tax goes up, then actually, sales tax was down. Let me look at this. I should have read my notes here.
We roll it.
The estimate for the whole year was lower than it actually was on sales tax.
Okay, so, and then we project the next year's now too? I mean, how,
On the first 6 months of this year.
right, well, the first 6 months, we had a slow month in June, a slow month in July, and it came off the charts, and it was up 34% for August.
I still question that. I don't know.
Well, we'll work on this during the week, and, okay.
I mean, we got the pro forma back from the state auditor's office, and of course, they don't get into the 60% rollback, they're right on that, so.
Okay.
It does match them, so.
And we'll have a public hearing next Tuesday.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
And there is a specific calculation you gotta go through with the state statute for that rollback.
Mhm.
So, but, all right,
Okay. And we
we'll bring it up
don't
next week.
have Locke here yet, so we will go to the signing of DR 4490 COVID declaration. This threw us for a loop.
This was put on the agenda, and I know there's some communication back and forth between Tracy. So that's the COVID-19, which is what we used in our public assistance so that we could get reimbursement for the supplies off of our testing site we had for our employees. There's certain forms that the state has provided to us that I thought we had filled everything out and sent it in, but I was told there are other forms that needed to be filled out. You know, nothing can be easy with the state. And so I believe all we need to get permission for is to make me an authorized, I don't know if it's user or authorized signature, I don't know what it is for that, so that we can continue with the public assistance and receive the refund for our vaccination supplies. Or, I'm sorry, not vaccination, the testing supplies.
Yeah, it says SEMA needs my signature to pay on the COVID declaration, so it's basically to get money back.
Yeah, and I don't know, did we already receive a check for that? I thought.
This is what Tracy said we needed to sign. You already signed it with Sam.
Oh, okay, all right.
The assurance compliance.
Well, hopefully that one page is it, because
Jill's got it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I thought we had already completed all this paperwork months ago.
That's
Yeah,
what
no.
she
Print
just
is
sent
not too
Right.
last week. She
Pretty
said
fuzzy.
we needed to
Yeah,
sign.
I can't read it. What the heck? Okay, I hope we're in compliance, guys.
Well, SEMA wouldn't make any mistakes.
Well, I'll tell you no, definitely not. And I'll tell you the paperwork that we received was all via email, and it all looked like that. There were very few forms that were actually in focus.
Son, you could maybe read this.
I'm over here trying to scroll it out to look at it closer on a computer, but, yeah. I mean, it's just a standard form is what it appears.
Yeah.
You could probably pull it up under that reg or rule at the top.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, we made a copy of a copy of a copy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what's happened.
So, then we have to have it for as part of the package deal, right? So,
Yeah.
Well, and I believe the window is closing, so we're not going to, have the ability to file anything under that public assistance section anymore. So this is, although I don't think it's a moot point, but, I think that because once we sign this, we won't be declaring anything else under that public assistance.
I'm going to make sort of a contingent motion here. Well, I'll make a motion to assign the assurance of compliance with 2 CFR 200.317-200.326 after our general counsel sees a clear copy and okays it.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you all.
All right, thanks, Nick.
So you're gonna send me something then?
I just emailed it to you.
I don't know if the email's gonna be, let me get a hold of.
I bet you can go online,
Yeah, well,
like,
these are federal regs.
like Harry said, I bet you can find that form right online, so.
I have magnifying glass.
Just magnifying fuzzy.
Yeah, but that doesn't read.
There's something that same.
That's,
It's not that it's
It's
too
kinda
small, it's that
fuzzy.
it's too fuzzy.
To send us something that's.
Well, we can pull it up.
Yeah, call SEMA.
it's rather fuzzy. Okay,
Lock's here now,
Locke
so
is here,
just in
so
time.
we will, I lost my, okay. Prosecuting attorney salary grant discussion. So,
Basically, all I have are a couple merit raises I'd like to get done for people.
Do you have those pay forms? Maybe I'll.
Yeah, for certain positions. One would be putting someone more in a supervisory capacity over the other victim advocate positions that we currently have. I think a raise needs to accompany that, because otherwise that position will be making less than one of the positions that's being supervised. And I'm sure as anyone who knows business would say, you can't really have your supervisors making less than subordinate positions. We did a study on, and I think I've got a PowerPoint somewhere if the commission would like to see it, but we kind of went with what we did a study on what that type of position makes, in other prosecutors' offices around the state or country, and that was the number we were able to come up with. A couple other merit raise positions for some of the APA positions we currently have with the work they've been doing. And I believe we should have the salary savings to cover that for this year with some open positions we already had, and just ask for it in the line next year.
Locke, can you help me with
Sure.
the titles? Because I get confused. There's a VACA and a Voca, or there's a victim advocate, which is
The VAWA.
VAWA.
and that's this one,
That's an APA position,
that's,
and
that pay for.
that's one that gets compensated 75% by the VAWA federal government grant. That
That-
covers the APA. The Voca grant is what covers 2 of our victim advocate positions. It used to cover things like office supplies, training, stuff like that, and that's all kind of gone out the window in recent years. They're no longer covering our office supplies. They're cutting back on the training that they provide.
And for both those grants, basically, there's a top ceiling to all of them.
As far as salary goes,
As far as the whole grant itself.
the whole grant goes, yeah, they'll cover the salary and that's it. And they'll only cover so much.
For those watching at home or listening at home,
Sure.
these initials that we use, victims,
VAWA would be
Violence Against Women
Act,
is- okay.
and VOCA is,
Victims of Crime Act.
thank you.
okay.
This has been an ongoing, grants we've had.
We've done, so
It's-
the VOCA grant has been going on for some time. The
Yeah.
VAWA grant, we started in 2019 or 2020. I think we applied for it in 2019 and got it for 2020, and we've had it since.
Lesh started that.
Sorry?
Did Miss Lesh start?
Yeah,
that?
Miranda was the one who did a lot of the legwork there. She had been in a similar situation in Platte County, so she was able to get us started on that.
Locke has been down in my office and visited a couple times on this, and we've chatted about it. The budget that you have for calendar '22
Sure.
can absorb these numbers.
I believe it can, yes.
Where you have to get a creative or whatever of his '23.
Sure.
And which we will address in December
Right.
when we adopt the '23 budget. So,
So have we been, has this gone through HR? I mean, a lot of these raises are coming up here. We haven't gone through HR to see. You said you did a study, and we talked about it yesterday at the marshals too. I mean, nothing's really been through HR. I mean, these are budget discussions. These shouldn't be middle of the year discussions. And I know you got the money in there to absorb it this year, but 2023, then it affects it with that whole salary with all of them.
Well,
So-
I would say that when you're in a position trying to give a merit raise, you don't wait 6 months to do it. You do it as soon as you can.
I disagree with that, because if it's not in your budget, you can't do a merit raise. And now you're just using leftover salary from
Which
vacant
is stuff
positions
that's already in
to
the
do it.
budget.
Right. That's not gonna be in the budget next year, so will they take a pay cut?
We
If
don't
it's
know
not
that
in
it's
the
not gonna
budget
be in the
next
budget
year?
next year, Jeff.
You're just assuming that's gonna be in the budget at these,
I'm certainly going to request it.
right. But if it's not, if we can't do it, if we have sales taxes down and we can't absorb it, then are they
Then
gonna
I'll
take a pay
use-
cut?
Then I'll use the prosecutor's fund.
But what about people that don't have their own little slush funds?
That's not my problem.
That's not fair to everybody, though.
It's not what the
So,
law says.
It's just, I'm talking about all the county employees, and it was the ones yesterday too, so I wasn't for those raises when we were talking about the marshals raises. So I'm not just picking on you, this has been the whole time through, doing these raises in the middle of the year. We did a, what, 5.5% raise this year? And then in the middle of the year, we're doing all these raises. And I don't even know why we do a budget at this point, so.
Well, Jeff, how many of these increases can't be absorbed by the current budget?
They can be, because the people have them from vacant positions. But then next year, if you go with, we're trying to get our salaries to where we have a schedule of some sort. We did one 3 years ago. Kristen sat down, went through it, and then it was 2 weeks after the budget was approved, that we already had people coming down wanting raises or made adjustments. You know, they were gonna have open positions, so it'd be able to absorb it as well in the middle of the year, so.
And I agree with you, Jeff. Yeah, we're, basically what we've been talking about is the additional salary for the VAWA grants and things like that. So then these came down after the fact, so.
The grants aren't 100% of the salary.
No,
either,
and it
I don't
never
think.
has
So
been.
it-
We've always.
It does affect us.
Yeah, we've always ended up paying more for
And
that.
you do have your own fund that you can do it, but we've also tried to stay away from that. I don't know if we have any of those going on anymore, where we had a separate check from the funds come to the general fund to pay for it, but we tried to stay away from that stuff.
We do for like part-time positions, but we'll have a whole position, not.
We eliminated a
raises.
bunch of them, though.
We didn't do for bonus or
So.
increases in salaries.
Put that with it too.
Okay.
If that's
So-
all Debbie's paperwork.
Where is the pay form right now, the original?
I just gave them the.
Well,
same.
No,
This
no,
is-
this is the one for
This is a photocopy.
There's the-
the chance. Yeah.
There's Debbie's. I gave them back to her. I thought I gave them to you.
This one.
I thought I had already signed the pay form.
You did on the one that you, the grant one.
Okay.
It's there too.
So I don't even think you need any action today. It's just wanted to clarify it, and if you're gonna sign it, then
These are the original.
Okay. That's what I was looking for. I had signed a pay form for the Victim Services
Coordinator.
Coordinator. All right, and that's what we're talking about, right?
That was-
Then he sent it down the other three.
Yeah.
I had a
So,
couple more for.
because he's got a couple of them that are
APAs.
supervisors over top of that, and that jumped. You got compression there, so.
I think we probably
Is that kind
ought
of
to
what
take
you're looking at,
action.
Locke?
The compression issue on the
by
VAWA
itself
grant,
and
yes.
then discuss
So-
the other pay
I
form.
mean, I understand where
Well,
you're
this one
coming
already
from,
has
but I
two
just-
signatures on
But
it.
Sam was questioning whether he wanted to.
No, I.
Okay.
I think Jeff had questioned that, so,
I had questions on it,
yeah, so. No, this, I'm good with that.
But, I mean, in general, anytime somebody's gonna send a pay form down to give somebody a raise, if we have questions, they need to come and address it.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
public and allow
And
us
to be completely fair, I asked for a lump sum to give merit raises for this calendar year, and that was declined.
Yeah, we just did the COLA raises,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
I probably, excuse me, have a little bit of a different philosophy about living within the budget that some have. Mine is we adopted a budget, and these numbers stay within the budget. I don't think we can already presuppose the '23 budget saying they won't fit in the '23 budget because we don't know what the '23 budget is. Maybe they won't, maybe they will. So I'm going to sign on the line from myself, and it's up to these two commissioners to decide what they want to do.
That's gonna cause a problem because Public Works has probably got some positions open. Well, Mr. Camp's sitting over here, you've got a maintenance position that's been open, 2 of them that's been open, so you got that money in there, just give some merit raises. That's just where it can lead to, is go down the trail, so. All righty,
Thank you.
Okay.
thanks a lot.
Okay. So we have that.
I think that's it.
I think that is it.
I would
What?
like to bring up old business if you guys don't mind.
We were almost done.
Sorry. This is the ARPA, and you guys had told me the last meeting, to basically do the internal ones as far as the request from the county departments and look at those. I did send all of those to Teresa. And Teresa, you guys seen some of the emails she did, was looking into 2 of them, which were the Pringer Family Center one and then the flood plain from Public Works. There were, however, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 other ones from other county departments that were on the list. And she feels like those would probably definitely fit within the 10 million of our money, and be okay. Do you want these departments to come and present what their purchases are? Or are you ready for me to go ahead and, A, make sure they're bid, go through all the procedures as we would any other purchase? Here's the list of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And the applications are out there, what are people applying for. I mean, some of them are straightforward. The only one that may have a lot of parts in it is EMA, but the EMA, medical services, their radio upgrades, that's pretty straightforward. Health departments, radios, 2 of them, that's pretty straightforward. Sheriffs, most win radios, Narcan, and then the voting machine ballot.
I think we were,
Pringer family's got a lot of questions on
Right.
it, though. We need to.
Hold off on Pringer and hold off on Public Works, that's just what.
yeah.
Okay, but there's a disagreement or
Sure.
with respect to Public Works and this is stormwater retention.
Right,
And it seemed like BKD was hung up on the term flooding.
right.
And stormwater is clearly covered under ARPA, but we couldn't go build a levee with it to prevent flooding. So
I think it was just a wording.
is our Public Works and BKD going to start seeing eye to eye on this, or have they?
I
Or
think so. I never got a response back from Eric, though I just forwarded it to him.
Right.
What Teresa had said, and so I guess I should have asked her this again when I saw him, but I forgot about it, so.
I think we should have called our internal one Cole County Stormwater, period, instead of Cole County Stormwater Flooding Mitigation Project.
I named it whatever we had on the.
I understand, right.
Had on the application.
Right, okay.
We've pretty much kind of
So-
arrived at figures for these. haven't-
Right, they
Yeah,
have.
yes.
The only one that does have moving parts probably is Nick's, so I didn't know if you want explanation on that. The rest of them are just radios, and I don't really know what NORCAN is, but. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so those things would all qualify if you're ready to pull the trigger on this.
Well,
If you're not,
I'm comfortable on everything but Pringer, and I'm almost comfortable on stormwater, but let's let them work that out. On the Pringer, that's really almost a blue sky number. It's just square feet times a number.
So, in the interim of that, there's no way you can start that right now.
Right.
And I do want to suggest that we do this as a reimbursable, not as, we hand over money, it's all,
Yep.
we get reimbursed for, or they get reimbursed for what we purchase, or they purchase, so.
yes.
Yeah, I like that. It's gonna be a lot easier than trying to get money back from them if they do not perform.
So that would make it easier with the juvenile department. Once that engineering study is done, she comes to you guys with options, you guys pick an option, and then we're ready to go, and we only spend the money on a certain part of that building, be it not the detention part, because I think that was the big hang.
That's the big hangup. We can't build a jail or detention facilities with ARPA money, but we can do residential
Okay.
in the juvenile.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we need to move forward.
Well, we need to get that one moving quick because to meet these timelines is gonna be
Yeah.
a struggle if
Right.
we plan to do that.
Do you have any questions on the first one? I guess I don't understand what the first one is.
I'm completely unprepared for this.
I'm sorry. And that's why I'm.
Give him a
if
week
we can
off
bring
and-
him back, if you can bring him back.
It's so I believe what the moving parts were is that we had also applied for grants to cover. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, just the whole amount, 488, that wasn't just for radios, right?
Well, the radio equipment, I believe. I would have to look at the grant again to, I sat down with the team to prepare the document, and I believe most of this, or all of it, is radios or equipment that attaches to the radio to then go into their breathing apparatus.
I'm pretty sure that some of that is the RSOC radio bank, replacing all the portable radios. And then I would believe, we need to probably check with Barry, but the first responder radios might be tied up in there as well. That's why the number is so high.
Well, I don't think the first responder radios are tied up in there.
Okay.
I don't believe. But
Okay.
I do know, so we have different types of radios. And this might be a good idea. Debbie might have suggested, presenting, and
Right.
I think that's a good idea. But just as what I remember, so we have our digital radios and our analog radios. And the analog radios are Kenwood's, and they are at end of life. But we use both radios not only when deploying for the hazmat instance, but also for events. And so that's why we believe if we upgrade all of the radios to digital, it would make an impact that is positive for both.
And I could have each department head available next commission meeting, since it really wasn't on the agenda this week. And then you guys can approve them one at a time, if that would be better, I think. So you know exactly what we're purchasing here. I'll tell them just to come and present their case, and then we'll go forward with either getting on, if they're on state contract, if they're not on state contract, we'll have Jessica start bidding these things, so we can at least get ours, except for those 2 phones.
Okay.
Underway.
What does next week's meeting look like? Is it pretty full? Do we need to have a standalone for this?
I think, it's up to you. Most of them are just radios except for, there are 1, 2.
Okay, there's not much on the agenda next week yet.
And we could even start at 8 o'clock again if we
9
want.
is fine. I think that 8 o'clock just puts, let me get the clerk's office and everybody here.
And in the meantime, I will forward you their applications. for
Okay.
these projects.
That's fine.
They were attached to that first email you
Yes,
sent
they
us
were.
with all of them, right, if you
Yes.
want to look at it.
Yeah.
And so there are some on there that we've all kind of made it through the third pass. Do we want to see if they qualify? Because I think there's some on there that I do have questions on. There's some that if they absolutely do apply, let's get them moving. I mean, one of them I'd bring up is the Lincoln University Center. I mean, that one, we've all kind of agreed on what the amount we wanted to get, if it complies, which I'm sure it does, but.
I think the tricky part of that one will be, you know, how do you hand off the money? And,
And say a reimbursable type thing.
correct. So it may take some strategery from our, strategery is a George Bush term, I think. George W.
A Harry Ottoism.
But, yeah, on
I was
Lincoln,
thinking Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Is it?
Lincoln, they
Well-
need our money so they can get matching money from the
Well, and
state,
maybe
so.
just a letter of intent.
Yeah.
To, and then we actually hand off the money when it becomes a reimbursement. of some
I'm not
sort.
sure the
Plan.
timeline is.
Well, not to suggest plagiarism, but the city has committed to $500,000, I think, ARPA money to Lincoln. So we might
See.
ask them, seek them, and there are other places that are probably giving Lincoln money. We could have a template to fill in instead of going from scratch.
Jill, if you want to check with their legal department to see if they have some kind of agreement
For
with
what?
their ARPA money to LU for a payment.
Oh, okay.
It's just, if you could talk with the general counsel down there, how do they know they're staying between the ditches with respect to ARPA rules on money they're going to contribute to
So the
Lincoln?
question is, having an agreement with Lincoln that they will spend it on something that's permissible under ARPA?
Yes, and that they will spend it on or they will encumber it by the end of '24 and spend it by the end of '26. There's some there's some hurdles in there that
Okay,
if they can't get that building, if we're doing this for a health science building and that building is not completed on or before 12/31 of '26, there might be an issue. So how do we get that commitment and so on and so
And
forth?
we can work with BKD for this too. 'cause-
why don't you consult with them too?
Well, oh, most definitely, they wrote all the contracts and stuff for CARES, you know, as far as making
Right.
sure all the stipulations are in there with our subrecipients. But I didn't know if you're just looking for a particular document that the city wrote to the Lincoln.
Well,
promising.
I think we can find that document that's been drafted by other political subdivisions, and BKD can help on that. CARES was a little easier because it was, we need $1,000 to buy
Chromebooks, we bought a lot of
Chromebooks. Show us your invoice, there they are, easy.
That's-
This, I think we do need something sooner than later because it's a question of matching funds from the state. So, you know, if
Okay, is there any other one on that list that you want to talk about, or just
That
start with
one,
Lincoln and
that was
start with
just the
these?
first one that came up.
Okay.
There's the ones that I think we've kind of all three agreed that, hey, we want to, even some of the small towns and stuff, want to throw
Yeah.
them a bone. I'm not sure if ball field lights will actually qualify. I don't know. And I'd be curious if it does, then, okay, then if we're going to do that, then we're going to pursue it. If not, then we can take it off the list and move on.
I can throw a few more of those out for this.
Hey, throw that, one of the ball field lights was on a probably parish property. That, I don't know if that's an issue or not. That would be a good one to throw at BKD.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd ask for both of the lights and see. Yeah, I think St. Thomas is on parish property. I think the Taos was on Knights of Columbus property. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I'll find out. We have had other applicants that have contacted me, asking me where they are, where you guys are on the process. I just assured them there's no final decision been made yet, but they are working on it. So just keep in mind, there's more of them
So-
asking.
The one that all three of us said, okay, we're willing to put some kind of money towards, do we want to check all of them? And because we've kind of said, all three, that we're gonna either, we want to fund it fully, or we want to give them a bone, and that's kind of what I do with some of the small communities and parishes, let's throw a little bit at them.
If you need an answer from me right now, my answer would be, let's do the Lincoln first.
Okay?
And between now and next week, solidify the other political subdivisions.
Okay. Because we got a few of them that maybe one of us had an X on, and some of us, two of us had kind of X'd out.
Right.
So how far do we want to go down? Do we want to?
Well, I don't know if I saw the final version 3
Third strike.
with your column. Maybe I have. Have I, Debbie?
I thought it was, but I'll send it.
You sent it once without transferring over the numbers, I think. Was that the one, or was that the second strike?
I think it came with the ones that I attached all those documents.
Okay.
Resend the latest version.
Sure.
Yeah, because some of those we probably don't need to have them come, beg for
So next week, are we starting at 8 or 9? Tuesday?
9 o'clock,
9
seems like
o'clock.
everybody.
Yeah, but the public hearing's at 9, so we better keep it that way, if you don't mind.
Yes, no.
Okay, and I will get some of these
There
departments
wasn't a whole
here.
lot on the agenda, so I think we'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
usually Friday is when we get a lot. Okay, do we have anything else? Our next scheduled meeting is August 23rd at 9 a.m. I have a motion to stand in recess.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.